Good morning, guys. I am doing laundry. You like that dramatic effect there? Anyways, yeah, this is Dave, and I'm doing laundry this morning. I already did my job searches. I've learned that after like applying for jobs every day, like you eventually run out of jobs to apply for. Not really every day. There's at least like maybe 5 to 10 jobs that are brand new. Some of them I found out they're kind of related to what I do, but they're like in a different industry. So like it's kind of a stretch to see if someone will call me about that. But I apply for it anyways, just to kind of, I'm not gonna want to miss out on any opportunity. But speaking of opportunities, let me go sit down over here. I'll get the rest of the laundry in a bit. We're also getting school supplies ready because school starts in a few days. But anyways, speaking of opportunities, I did have an interview yesterday. It went really well. I thought it was going to be the last interview and then like an opportunity might present itself next week for an offer or something like that. But I found out that there's probably going to be one more interview, and which is okay. I do think that companies should try to, make it more efficient and put more interviews together. I know that you can't put because I've had interviews, the panel interviews are usually with like 3 to 4 people. I'm okay with doing one interview with 7 people. There's a bug. I don't know if y'all saw that. I just don't want y'all to think I was crazy. But anyways, I don't know if it's possible. I mean, it is possible, but if it's efficient to do interviews with 7 people, but I feel like sometimes they ask very similar questions, like from interview to interview. And so I feel like if there was more people in the one interview, a lot of them would get their questions answered. And if they had additional questions after they asked like I call them like pre-planned questions because they usually have them written down or from HR or something like that, then they could follow up right then and there based on the answers that they give. So that's the only suggestion efficiency thing that I would want if I was going to have panel interviews, if I needed to have lots of interviews with like the team and stuff like that. And I totally get that, but there's just a lot of interviews and I feel like sometimes they ask the same questions, and I think there's a way just to make it a little more efficient. But that interview was yesterday, maybe another interview next week, maybe an offer next week, I don't know. But in other news, I did receive a call. My arm is getting tired. I got a call. No, not a call. I'm sorry. I got an email because I regularly reach out to the people that I work with in the past. And one of them said, hey, we might have an opportunity for some people to come back to the role that I was just at due to some capacity, and they need more people and stuff like that. So that might be a potential opportunity, which would be fully remote. As far as I know, it'd still be fully remote, which would be great because then I don't have to buy another car. Because right now we just have one car. We got rid of our second car like 3 years ago during COVID. So like we haven't had a car since, and I would love not to have to buy another car if I don't need to, just because it's just another expense, and I'm trying to like lessen the expenses and live my life like more deliberately, like in all aspects, like spiritually, financially, relationships, even health. Like I really need to work on the health part a little bit more. But yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff that I've been feeding into my mind lately about, I don't know, just life in general, just to have like vision and stuff like that. And I'll go more over that later because there was a good video I watched last night about it from Craig. I think his last name is Groeschel. He's a pastor, but like he's also like a leadership coach type thing. So he's not, if you don't like preachiness, he's not like overly preachy, which I appreciate because it sounds like you're just talking to a person in. Sorry guys, the ADHD took over. I think there's a bug out here. But yeah, he's really, really, really cool guy that I saw on YouTube. And I'll go over some more of that stuff later, but just good like life lessons, things to like ponder and think, and just to kind of get your life in check. And since I'm 42, I'm getting up there, Also, there's certain things that, when people talk about a 5-year plan, I used to think that was, my arm is really hurting. Sorry if y'all see my hand over here, but maybe I can do it like this. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people talk about 5-year plans. I used to think that was kind of stupid. I was like, oh, no, you don't need like a 5-year plan. Just live your life and, like live a good life, but you don't need a 5-year plan. Well, looking at it now, like, well, that's just having a vision for where you want to be and where you want to go. And for me, like, I feel a lot of that is like even a spiritual thing, like between me and God. And so there's that piece of it. There's a piece of like, what do I want? What do I see my life like in 5 years? Because like, in 2 years, Jaden's going to be graduated from high school. And so in 5 years, he'll be like a junior in college. McKaylee will be graduated from high school. Like, we'll have 2 kids in the house. Life is going to look different. So like, where do I want to be in my life and my family's life? Because we're getting older, and there's certain things that I want to do, certain things that I want to try, business things I want to try. And I still need to work, because usually business ideas take a little bit of time, and you fail a few times before they take over. So anyways, I've been ranting a lot this morning, and I still need to do the rest of this. So I'm going to get back to this work, but I need to go pick up the kids later. They stayed with Mal and Grandpa last night since school is starting next week. So they had a good time at the grandparents' house. That's who Mal and Grandpa are. That's another story about how my mom got the name Mal. I have to tell y'all maybe a little later in this video. But I need to go pick them up around 1. It's 11 right now. So I got 2 hours to clean this, do some dishes. Actually, the dishes are already being done. I just need to kind of clean up the kitchen a little bit. Just kind of get things in order. And yeah, I'm showing y'all my messy bed. We had an issue with ants the other day. That's why it's a mess. That were coming out from under the floorboard, and they got up on the bed because of like how this hangs over. And we were like, we're not going to go to sleep with potential ants in the bed. So we took all the sheets off, threw them in the wash, and put some old sheets that we still had up in the closet, plus some of the kids' pillowcases, because we didn't have any extra pillowcases. So it's just a smorgasbord of sheets of mismatches. So we need to partly wait till this weekend. They're clean. I'm not going to worry about putting something on just because it's mismatched right now. I'll wait until this weekend when we actually change out our sheets, and we'll get our other ones on there. But that is why the bed is such a mess. But anyways, I really need to work on doing these clothes, so FMC dishes. Anyways, yeah, ADHD meds are working. All right, empty basket. That's good. I want to show y'all a dirty bathroom. No, not really. Right here. Let's see what happens today. So, okay, speaking of the ADHD meds, 188. So, when I started the ADHD meds about a month ago, actually it's one official medicine, and then there's 3 supplements that I take. The fish oil, the magnesium, and the zinc. And like all those combined, I still have like bad days. Some days I'm like, this isn't working. Like, I'm all over the place. Even this morning, I've been pretty good about getting things done, but just sometimes my mind is still scatterbrained, and I jump from thing to thing. But overall, it has helped a lot. And then the weight thing, like, I don't eat as much. And I mean, I still eat my meals every day, but I don't eat as much of a portion. And I don't know if that's due to the medicine or the supplements, because maybe I'm getting vitamins and stuff that I wasn't getting before because through the pills. So I don't know what it is, but I was 194 probably like 3 weeks ago, and I'm down to 188. I've been 188 for probably about a week now. I would love to get back down to like 175, which would be great, but I really need to start like working out and going to the gym. In our garage, we have a workout stuff in the garage, so not like go to the gym. But I want to start doing that, especially hopefully in San Antonio next month. It'll start cooling down some, because it's like 106, 107 lately, and it's just so dang hot outside. But I was going to say something. I totally forgot what it was. Let me think about it. All right, I remember what it was. It was our plans for the day. So y'all know that the kids are spending the night I'll show y'all this in a bit. They're spending the night at my parents' house. I have to go pick them up because this evening we have Meet the Teacher. So I don't know how much I'm going to film because there's other kids and stuff, and I don't want to get other parents' kids in our YouTube video. But we have to go. Jaden doesn't have to go to his, which is good because we have 4 schools now. Jaden's at one high school. Michaela's at a different high school. Liam is in junior high, and Emma is still in elementary school, of course. And so we have to go to 3 different schools. I think we have to go to 3. I think we have to go to Michaela's. I know we don't have to go to Jaden's because Jaden's going to be helping out at the elementary school. Yeah, he's getting some like service hours for National Honor Society, the club that he's in at school and stuff like that. So he's going to help out there. Maybe Michaela doesn't have anything. I'm not sure. She might be. I think she's in one of those clubs too where she has to get service hours. And my arm is hurting again. But yeah, so we have to do that this evening and kind of just get ready for school. We're just like lately, especially with me being like of sound mind, even though I'm not working, like that's still a stressor, because I keep on having these interviews and I'm like, all right, cool, one of these is going to work out. And then I don't get a call back, or like 2 weeks later, I get a call back for the second interview. And I'm like, what took so long? So like that's still a stressor, because money is drying up and stuff like that. I'm not working, so like that's just part. It's part of life. It's part of stress. But I do feel like the meds that I'm taking, because it is an anti-anxiety medication, I do feel like it has been helping me a little bit. I didn't know that we had some anxiety stuff in our family. Like people in our family have suffered from anxiety, so it's a thing. Like it could be a genetic thing, and which is, I think that's why the meds have helped, because I think maybe I did have a little bit of anxiety before, and I coped and managed it and stuff like that. But I do feel like the meds kind of take that edge off, where it's not so, I don't spiral, because that was a big thing. I would kind of spiral in my mind, not so much outside. Like I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, no freak outs, but in my mind I just kept on going down the rabbit hole of like, well, what if this happens, and oh my gosh, and if this happens, and this will happen, so especially with not working, like that can be crippling, just kind of going through that rabbit hole of like, almost like self-destruction type of thing. So never mind, I thought I had a text. It's just Instagram. Anyways, while I'm in this room, let me show y'all. So Emma has set up, not this, but that, and then over here, and then this area, and I think even back here in her little art table and stuff, she has set up, this is Target. This is not Fab Five. She informed me yesterday. She goes, Daddy, just ignore the Fab Five. It's Target. And so when I came in here the other day, she had an apron on and she had her cash register right here, and she went through this whole process of having me come to her Target. And like, this is the produce area, produce and kitchenware. This is the toy area. This was a choo-choo train area where you could actually do art. I actually sat in this and I almost couldn't get up, but I got out of there. And then there's also some art stuff, of course, over here. And this table is just full of love. Like, we're just gonna say this is love, because this is Emma. This is what she does. She paints, and it's a mess, but she is busy and active, and I love it. I love how she just gets into things and loves using her imagination and stuff. So yeah, yesterday I had to come to Target here and get some items, and then she rung me up with her little cash register, and like, I was amazed at her customer service skills for being a 6-year-old, because she was like, is there anything I can help you with, sir? Sir, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Like, she literally said that, and I'm just like, all right, like, you have better customer service skills than some people I've come across at the store, like some people that work at the store. So yeah, she could totally be in hospitality. Maybe she talks about wanting to be a teacher, which I think she'd be a great teacher. But yeah, that was Target back there. That's why it's such a mess. And everything's constantly a mess because we're getting ready for school and stuff. But there is organization to it, and I feel like we are more organized and better set up and cleaner than we have been in the past. I just feel like everything's starting to stack up straight. Like you have a brick wall and there's bricks and pieces of it missing. I feel like we're rebuilding that wall in a very good way to have more structure, and not too structured. Like, we want to be able to be spontaneous and stuff like that, but just parts of our life, I think, are they're just getting better, and I'm happy about that. And I just want to encourage you to, if that's something that you need to tackle, like, tackle it. If it's mental health related, get meds, like, go talk to a psychiatrist. That's what I did, and it's just like, it's such a good thing. Like, don't be afraid of it. And even if people are like, oh, you don't need to talk to a psychiatrist, don't listen to them. Do what you need to do for yourself. But anyways, I'm gonna go do some dishes right now, and then I'm gonna go pick up the kids, and we'll see what else the day holds for us today. I just said today twice. All right, y'all, I'm on my way to get the children from my mom. We're meeting halfway because my parents live on the other side of town, and I figured y'all could enjoy the drive with me. And beautiful, not really beautiful. I mean, you see San Antonio is like super dry and everything's dead. So during the summer, San Antonio is not very beautiful. So if you're coming to San Antonio, you want to come like around May. If you come in June, depends. Sometimes we have rain, but by July, August, everything is dry and dead looking, except for the trees. The trees usually stay green, but they're really small, and I think that's because we don't get a lot of water year-round. But anyways, I wanted to share with y'all what I learned yesterday about what I mentioned earlier about vision. So like I was watching this Craig Groeschel. I'll link the video too because it was really good. It's some leadership podcast that he has, but he's talking about momentum, and he's saying how momentum is like part of leadership, and it's a necessary thing for everything in your life. Like you even said, like spiritually, emotionally, relationships, health, like all of those things. You have to have momentum to get them going. And he used example of a rocket ship, saying that in the beginning it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort to get momentum going, and it's painful and it's not easy. But he said, like with the rocket ship, you have to break that velocity of gravity with just huge amounts of fuel and energy, and then once you get enough thrust going, you can kind of let go of the thrust a little bit because you have that momentum that's kind of pushing you forward. And so he was talking about specifically leadership and organizational leadership, working for a company and stuff like that. But I watched it and I was like, man, you can apply this to so many parts of your life, like health-wise. Like when you start working out, it sucks. Like it's hard, it hurts. But once you get going, it's easier. It's easier to maintain that momentum once you get it going. And same thing with relationships, and same things with leading a business or starting a business. Like say you start a YouTube channel, like you're making all this extra time to make videos and edit videos and record stuff, and it takes effort. It takes a lot of effort and energy, but once you get it going, things kind of get easier because you have that momentum going. And maybe not necessarily easier, but like you're just kind of used to it. Like you're building the muscle around what you want to do. But he gave 4 specific things to kind of keep momentum going and to get it going, which I wanted to share with y'all real quick. The first one was vision. He was like, whatever you do, whether it's health or finances or your life or business, like you have to have a vision. Like, what do you want? Like, what's the dream around it? What do you want in 6 months from now? What do you want in 5 years from now? What do you want in a year? Like, what's your goal? And the vision can change, but like you need to start with some type of vision. The second thing he talked about was, let me think here. Second thing, I just remembered. Second thing was having faith in the vision, and not necessarily like if you're not a Christian or like someone that believes in God, it's not talking about that type of faith. It can be, but like even just from having that vision and then having faith in your vision that you can get it done, that it's possible, that it's not something that you're saying like, oh yeah, here's our vision, but there's no way we're going to do it. Like if you have that attitude, you're not going to get done. Like, you're not going to get done in something you don't believe in. So he was saying like you have to have faith in that vision and faith in what you're doing, and then bringing those people that are working with you, if you have a team, bringing them to that faith in the vision as well. The third thing was having systems in place, and this could mean any type of system. Like it could mean like, for the vision of my YouTube channel, I want to have systems to make sure that I post on a regular basis. So maybe I have an Excel sheet where I kind of keep track of everything that I want to post, or I use Notion. That could be a system. But also in other circumstances, it could be training. Like maybe I have a business and I'm bringing new people on board, and I want to have a very robust training system so that when people come on board, they know what's expected of them and they're trained to do it. So he was very specific that you need to have a system that supports the vision, because it does help. It helps people to keep faith in what you're doing as well. Like it all kind of is this cohesive mixture of stuff. And then the last part was grit, and he gave a definition of grit. I know what grit is just by my grandparents being from the South and talking about you need to have grit, son. But basically, grit is just like having the guts and the push through to get things done. Like when it gets hard, you don't give up. When it gets hard, you just dig your heels in deeper and you push harder. So, and he was saying that there's a lot of grit missing like in our world today because we come up against something that is a barrier or opposition, and then we're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm done, I'm not going to do it. But if you believe in your vision, if you have faith in your vision, and if you have the systems in place, like, you just need to push through. And a lot of this kind of sounds like almost like hustle culture, which hustle culture has the good and the bad. But the way that I'm understanding this is that, like, yeah, you got to hustle at the beginning. Like, you got to get that momentum going. You have to have liftoff, and then you don't have to hustle forever, because then you're going to burn out. So, like, there's a fine line with this whole momentum thing of, like, gaining the momentum, but just like Craig said, being able to throttle back when you have enough momentum to breathe as well, because you don't want to kill yourself and then have no energy left to keep that momentum going. So, but it was very cool, very eye-opening, and I took notes while I was watching this video, and I'm actually remembering all of this from that note-taking, which there you go. Taking notes does help you retain knowledge, because I've looked at it probably like 2 or 3 times today after I took those notes, and every time I look at it, it's kind of like I keep remembering, like, vision. What's the second one again? I just forgot it. Oh my gosh. So vision, faith in what you're doing. Third thing is systems to support it all. And then the fourth one is grit. And now I need to push through. I need to have the grit to get through this traffic, because I hate it. Anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to share with y'all. That's what I learned last night. It was good stuff. And I'll link to Craig's video in the description in case you're interested in watching it. There.
Hey guys.
Oh, Emma's gonna start. Hey guys, I got the children. Is that what you're gonna say, Emma?
Emma,
No. Anyways, guys, I got the kids a while ago. We had to go by Sonic because my mom gave us money to get the kids drinks. 25 minutes later, we got drinks. That's why I don't like going to Sonic, because they take forever. McKaylee says that it's teaching me patience.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, McKaylee.
I think it is.
I'm still not patient afterwards. I think you're wrong.
That's why we gotta go up there more.
No.
It's a long process.
That's why Sonic is good, because that makes you don't have it.
No. End of conversation. No. All right, we're home. All right, guys, we are at Liam's school. Emma and I are. We've actually been here for a while, but we had to take Jaden to Emma's school to go do this volunteer. He's getting some volunteer hours before we go back to her school for her meet the teacher. And Emma is stretching. Let me turn the AC down. It's probably really loud on the video. But Liam's gonna have a meeting here probably in about like 5 minutes or so. Molly's in there with him. And then when they're done, we're gonna head back to Emma's school to do her meet the teacher. And then we'll be done. McKaylee stayed home. She didn't have to get out, so she took advantage and just stayed home and chilled. And then when we get home, it's gonna be time to get stuff ready. I mean, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and then school is next Monday. So, Emma, you excited?
Yes.
I bet you are. You've been talking about school a lot, haven't you? Yeah, she's ready.
Because Kiska might be in my class.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Mama
cool.
said that Kiska is, but it might change.
So that's one of Emma's very best friends. So yeah, she's super pumped about that. But anyways, we're just waiting, and then we're gonna head to the school, and then we will be home to relax and get stuff done. I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, we are home. I'm watching the Tim Tracker, learning more about what's going on at Disney World. One day we'll go back. But before I finish the video, good news. Well, it's looking like good news. The old company I worked for called me, the last contract company I worked for, and said, "Hey, we have a client coming up, and we want you to work. We want you to help us out with it." So I still have to go through like the approval process with the client and stuff like that. But they thought to call me and, ask if I was interested, and I'm like, yeah. The cool thing is that it's a contract job, but the contract would be for 2 years, which is amazing. I've never worked a contract that long. I've worked a contract that long, but it started off like as a 6-month contract, and then it just kept on getting extended. So like every 6 months, I still had to worry about like, oh, am I going to be extended or not? This is like legit from the get-go 2 years of a contract. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about if I get into these other jobs too. But the company I worked for before, I worked with a lot of good people. So like there's like some camaraderie and some relationships already built and stuff like that. So it would be really, really cool if it happens. So we'll just have to cross our fingers, pray, and see what happens. But yeah, I feel like good things are on the horizon, and just in time for the summer to end here in a month or so and fall to come, and hopefully it cools down here in San Antonio because it is very, very hot. Like right now it says it's 8 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock and it's 102 degrees right now. And I think the heat index is like 108. So it's very hot. Michaeli's looking at me weird. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for catching up with me. I know there's a lot in this video, but yeah, I just wanted to catch everyone up on what's going on. And now I'm going to edit this video. So, and Michaela's looking at me weird, so I need to see what she wants. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the other good stuff, and goodbye.